We're gonna start off with the New York Knicks, my New York Knicks,
Oof.
which I'm embarrassed to claim them these days.
They're going through it right now.
They're going through it, and they've been going through it for a long time, and nothing has changed. And they just recently fired David Fizdale, who was their head coach. He started back last year in 2018, and he was fired because he fucking sucks.
Yeah, I don't. Started off 4-18. You know, you got all this excitement in R.J. Barrett. You have a better team on the court this year than you did last year. Last year you had a bunch of fucking nobodies. This year you signed Morris. He's balling. Ntilikina's actually been playing better than last year. I mean,
Mitchell Robinson.
You get Julius Randle.
Yeah,
you
Julius
bring
Randle.
him in, and you just play worse than last year. Like, how do you have a worse season than the Knicks did last year?
Yeah, and that was like unbearable to watch. But you gave him the benefit of the doubt because you're like, his first year, he came into a fucked up situation.
With no players.
Yeah, no players, no super high draft pick, lottery pick. So, you're like, he's going to come in, get a couple wins, and then this is really setting up for the future. But then the future comes around, and you're like, yo.
Yeah. This shit look more like the past. Like,
yeah, this shit is like you're back to the beginning of the struggle where everything crumbles and you have to be in rebuild mode. And it's literally like every fucking year the Knicks are rebuilding or waiting for some amazing lottery pick to like save their lives.
Yeah, and listen, their lottery pick don't look too fucking good right now. R.J. Barrett has declined since the fucking beginning of the season. But Sam Perkins was saying that Kendrick Perkins. I'm sorry, not Sam fucking Perkins. But Kendrick Perkins was saying that he feels like Fizdale was set up for failure with this year, and it's kind of like I go back to how are you set up for failure if your team last year was a bunch of nobodies? The only way to go is up.
Yeah.
And you found a way to go down.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that is true. And I feel like, I agree with Perkins. Anyone that goes there is set up for failure, basically. But that going into it. It's a tough situation. It's a fan base that's starving to win. It's been a long-ass time since they've, been in the playoffs and shit or made some noise. And they're basically looking for results right away. It's New York. New York is the worst with that. They want you to come in, be the savior immediately, and win a championship right away because, it's been since the 70s that they've won. So I do see that as like anyone that takes – and then you have James Dolan, who I fucking hate. He's a shitty owner. Yeah,
you're probably not the only one that dislikes that guy.
Yeah. And, like, you can't blame him because – every time you see a Knicks game, it's not like, I don't know, like in football when teams are bad, like people just don't go.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, fuck that. I'm not going to waste my time. And you see the empty stands. Basketball, people are there all the time, especially the Knicks.
See, that's the thing. I think it's more people are at the Garden. Because, I mean, if you watch like an Atlanta Hawks game last year, they weren't fucking with them games. But the Garden is the Garden. It's going to be packed whether you're good or fucking terrible like you are now.
Yeah, and there's always going to be, like, a few weeks ago I went to the Knicks-Spurs game, which I regret because we fucking got embarrassed that game. We lost. And I was just like, man, I fucking feel like I hate that I just gave them money for this shitty-ass product, But anyway, like, when I was there, I heard like a lot of foreigners, probably people traveling that were just like, oh,
Tourists.
while we're in New York, let's go to a Knicks game. We can say we went to the Garden and saw a Knicks game. So a lot of the people that are there are for that as well. And, it's New York. A lot of corporate things are going on. So, yeah, there's always people there, and he keeps putting out this shitty product year after year, and he's like, fuck it, I'm still making my money.
Yeah. At the end of the day, he is. I don't know why the fuck got people still buying tickets, but at the end of the day, he is. And speaking of the Spurs, there were actually sources saying that Becky Hammond was interested in the New York Knicks head coach position.
I didn't know that. At this point, I don't fucking care.
Like, how could you get worse?
Yeah.
How could you get worse?
Just give it to her. Maybe she's that spark. I don't know. I don't care who it is. It could be a child. I'm just like, just give them a shot because everybody else hasn't worked. It hasn't panned out.
Yeah.
So might as well. Let's do like 4 coaches a year and see what fucking happens. Like
That's it. A team of coaches. At this
coaches.
point, bring Phil back.
Yeah.
And just let him coach the home games.
Yeah, and that's how you know how, the Knicks are cursed or something. Even Phil Jackson couldn't fuck with this shit.
Yeah.
He was like, it got worse when he got there.
Yeah, he did some questionable shit.
Yeah, he
did
did.
draft KP, which is cool, but he drafted Ntilikina, and I don't remember off the top of my head who else was on the board after Ntilikina, but I'm pretty sure there was somebody fucking better.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I'm not a fan of Ntilikina. I'm not a fan of most of the guys on the fucking team. I love Mitchell Robinson and Morris just for entertainment value.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't really like too many guys on the team. Obviously, they're not performing. And Fizdale, I would have waited to the end of the year just to see, because last year he went 17-65, and this was like another premature firing, I think. Yeah, it was shitty, but remember in 2017 he got fired from the Grizzlies
Pretty early, also.
Yeah, he went 7-12, then he got fired.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, but people are just like, get out the fucking building. And he got fired that quick after the Grizzlies, and the year before that, he went to the playoffs. So I don't know if it's something with him. Maybe he doesn't listen. Maybe it's just his way or the highway, and owners are like, you know what, fuck you. You're not performing. The team's not performing, and you're a dick and don't want to listen. So maybe it's that. I don't know what it is, but I thought it was premature. But at the same time, yeah, he was going to get fired anyway. So do it now, do it tomorrow, whatever.
Yeah, they need a lot of work. I mean, it starts. I can't even tell you where it starts. What's the first step? You got to get players in there. You have to get players, and not no fucking like second rate. Like I think for the way Julius Randle's playing this year, I think they overpaid him.
Yeah, I was never a fan of Julius Randle. We got drafted by the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of him there. I'm like, this guy, there's a lot of hype around him, and I just don't see it. I was a huge fan of the KP trade and getting Dennis Smith Jr. I thought he was going to be way better than what he has shown. Because we had Ntilikina as our point guard, and I'm like, that's not going to fucking work out. We need like an explosive guy like Dennis Smith.
And Dennis Smith is talented, but it goes back to New York again. Like, when he came in, everybody was just bashing him. Like, dude, let the fucking kid play a game in the Garden first before you're on the radio saying he sucks and he's not this and he's not that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to fucking play for you guys. I'm not giving you full effort if it like... You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You guys got to relax, New York. Fucking relax.
Yeah, that's
and
the
let
way
your
New
teams
York
perform.
Is. Especially, when you're historically bad these days, like, just give it a fucking chance. Like, let's see what they got. Let's see what the coach has, what these young players have. Because guess what, right? We don't have nothing anyway. So we just keep fucking firing people, changing up the team. And it's just there's no consistency. And with the good teams, there's a consistency. There's a coach who's been there for a while, or the nucleus core guys who've been there who could bring the new guys in and show them how the system works.
Yeah. Or they got the culture and everything else.
We don't have that. Every piece in New York is a fucking new guy who just got thrown into a shitty situation, and no one's a leader there.
No.
But anyway, David Fizdale, you are gone. You and your thick frame glasses are out of this bitch, and we'll see what the Knicks do, but it's not looking great.